deal with Gatorade and Nike. Now, these are like deals that premier athletes get, like your Caitlin Clarks, your LeBrons, people like that, and it's rare that you see, Shedeur being a fifth-round quarterback with these type of deals. Now, I must say, Shedeur signed all of these deals, from my understanding, before he was drafted, because no one thought in a million years Shedeur was going to go to the fifth round. Maybe second if they was really hating, but they went unprecedented type hating and made him slide down to the fifth round. Now, with that being said,
what time is it? It's perfect timing for a preseason football win celebration from Nike Football. As a former brand manager for Nike Football, I can tell you the last time that there was a win celebration for a preseason game would have been probably Johnny Manziel when we made the internet explode with his pro day. That was an incredible moment. And this is probably the first athlete that we've had that is this interesting by the media and the culture surrounding the game of football, not just football nerds in the game wanting to see how someone performs. So I got to give Shedeur a credit on a couple of fronts. One, how he played in the game tonight, but two, he committed to the bit. That man did a tunnel walking into a preseason game tonight with a boombox, playing his own track, doing his celebration, and actually showed up and did what he needed to do to at least stave off the haters for a little while. It will be really interesting to see if he can win out a starting job or at least land somewhere in the NFL, because the hype is so high and the attention is so high that it will be fascinating to see if he's actually able to match that with the play on the field. The guy gets eyeballs. I can tell you one thing. I have not tuned into a Browns preseason game in a really long time. Actually, since probably Johnny Manziel played. So I don't know what time it is, but I do think it's perfect timing for Shedeur Sanders and some fun marketing that we are about to have over the course of the next few weeks. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Were you surprised when you got the call to be in a Pro Bowl?
Yes. I was surprised.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was just sitting there expecting it, like, yeah, I'm going to definitely be in there.
Yeah, because you were like half the season, right? You didn't.
Well, I just didn't have too much thought in it.
I see.
What's it like, Joe being here? You mentioned he's wearing the same sweatpants. It's his first Pro Bowl after 18 years. I mean, did you ever think that could have been a thing that was a possibility? You guys are teammates and now you're first-time Pro Bowlers?
I'm not going to lie, a lot of time, like, I'm taking day by day. I'm taking day by day, just having that method. Then whatever comes out of that, it comes out of that. But if you would tell me, one second, I got you. If you would tell me that this was going to happen at the beginning of the year, I couldn't say that would have happened.
While the entire NFL was still questioning whether Shedeur Sanders deserved his Pro Bowl spot, Nike and major brands were already doing something that stunned everyone. They weren't just supporting him, they were going all in on marketing campaigns that would generate millions of views. In what they just revealed, a signature sneaker line that no fifth-round quarterback in NFL history has ever gotten. But here's the part that's blowing everyone's mind. Nike invested in Shedeur before the draft even happened, betting everything on him when the league wouldn't even draft him until the fifth round. What they knew that NFL GMs didn't is about to change the entire conversation around this kid forever.
Nike has, listen. Nike has heavily invested in Shedeur. The brand has promoted him on social media, designed player-exclusive kicks, and leaned into his legendary mantra. During practice and pregame warm-up, Shedeur Sanders has worn Nike DT96 cleats and player-exclusive Browns colorways. He recently revealed the handwritten message on each cleat. Come on, dog. Shedeur, holla at your boy, man. Look at these black ones.
Yo, let me put you onto something that's absolutely wild, and nobody's really talking about the way they should be. While NFL analysts and media members were sitting around debating whether Shedeur Sanders deserved his Pro Bowl selection, while Cleveland media was calling it ridiculous that he might be the starting quarterback, while all these so-called experts were questioning everything about this young man, you know what Nike was doing? You know what Gatorade was doing? You know what the biggest brands in sports were doing? They were betting the entire house on Shedeur Sanders. And I'm not talking about some small endorsement deal or a one-off commercial. I'm talking about the kind of investment that these brands only make for generational athletes. The LeBrons, the Caitlin Clarks, the Michael Jordans, that level. And they made these moves before Shedeur even got drafted. Let that sink in for a second. Nike looked at Shedeur Sanders and said, "We're going all in on this kid," when most NFL teams wouldn't even draft him until the 5th round. That's not just business, that's belief, that's vision, that's seeing something that 31 NFL teams apparently couldn't see. So let's break down what just happened, because this is one of the most insane marketing moves in recent sports history, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about how brands evaluate talent versus how NFL front offices do it. First, the sneakers. Coach Prime posted a picture on Instagram recently that sent the sneaker world into an absolute frenzy. And most people, even a lot of Shedeur fans, didn't catch what was really happening in that photo. There were multiple pairs of unreleased Nike Air DT Max 96 lows, which is Deion's signature line. But hidden among them was something special, a player-exclusive colorway designed specifically for Shedeur Sanders. And on the back of these sneakers, written upside down so when you're looking up at Shedeur you can read it perfectly, is one word: legendary. Now, when's the last time you saw a 5th-round quarterback get his own signature shoe colorway? I'll wait. When's the last time Nike put legendary branding on kicks for a rookie who barely played his first season? This doesn't happen. This never happens. But it's happening for Shedeur Sanders. The sneakers themselves are absolute heat. We're talking multiple colorways, patent leather versions that look like they belong in a museum, brown and black pairs with the legendary branding flipped upside down, low-top red versions that could be cleats or sneakers depending on how you look at them. Each one is more fire than the last. And Nike's not just making these for Shedeur to wear, they're planning a public release.
Now, it's politic reason why I don't cover them. I'm going to just leave it at that. I know a lot of you guys want me to, but it's just political reasons. And we just going to leave it at that. But this is the shoe. So as you guys can see here, it's several photos, bruh. It say legendary on the back upside down. Now, Deion Sanders, legendary Shedeur Sanders at Nike, posted by Deion Sanders Jr. Shout out to Bucky, the homeboy.
Do you understand what that means? Nike is so confident in Shedeur's marketability, in his brand, in his future, that they're putting his player-exclusive shoes on the market for fans to buy. They're banking on people lining up to get Shedeur Sanders sneakers the same way they line up for LeBrons or Kobe's or Jordans. That's insane for a 5th-round pick. But here's where it gets even crazier. According to multiple sources, Shedeur signed his Nike deal before the draft, not after he got selected, not after he showed what he could do in the NFL. Before, when he was still at Colorado, still dealing with the uncertainty of where he'd land, still facing questions about whether he'd even get drafted in the 1st round, Nike looked at him and said, "We want you." And it wasn't just Nike. Gatorade came calling too. Shedeur Sanders has endorsement deals with both Nike and Gatorade. You know who else has that kind of portfolio? Superstars, all-pros, MVPs, not 5th-round rookies who barely saw the field their first season. So what did these brands see that NFL GMs didn't? What did they understand about Shedeur that led to him sliding all the way to the 5th round while they were ready to give him LeBron-level marketing deals? Let me tell you what they saw. They saw marketability. They saw star power. They saw someone who could move product not just because of his play on the field, but because of who he is as a person, as a brand, as a cultural figure. Think about it. Shedeur has millions of followers across social media. He was on reality TV growing up. He's been in the spotlight since he was a kid. He knows how to handle media, how to carry himself, how to represent a brand. Nike didn't just see a quarterback, they saw the next evolution of athlete marketing. And the Pro Bowl was proof. Despite all the criticism, despite people saying he didn't deserve to be there, despite the media trying to tear him down, Shedeur showed up at the Pro Bowl and became one of the most talked about players there. The clips were everywhere, the highlights were circulating, people were watching. And Nike was watching too. They saw their investment paying off in real time. While NFL analysts were debating his credentials, Nike was counting the millions of impressions, the engagement, the conversation. That's what brands care about. Eyeballs, attention, cultural relevance. Shedeur Sanders has all of that in spades.
MTV, that's who Shedeur Sanders is. I don't know. I just be out here, yeah, legendary. Yeah. That's Shedeur Sanders. Do you know how dumb we are and how dumb we've been dumbed down into that someone with virtually no command of the English language, we're sitting, oh yeah, he's a leader.
Let's talk about the marketing genius of these sneakers for a second. The legendary branding isn't just cool, it's strategic. It ties directly into Shedeur's personal mantra, his mindset, his approach to the game. Nike has been leaning into that messaging during practice, during pre-game warm-ups, on social media. They're building an entire narrative around Shedeur being legendary before he's even proven himself at the NFL level. That's bold. That's risky. That's exactly what great marketing is supposed to be. And it's working. Sports Illustrated wrote an article about the sneakers. Sneaker blogs are covering them. Fans are commenting, asking when they can buy them. The hype is real, and the shoes haven't even been officially announced yet. Compare that to how NFL teams treated Shedeur. They made him wait until the 5th round. They passed on him 130+ times. They acted like he was some kind of project, some kind of question mark, some kind of risk they couldn't afford to take. But Nike? Nike saw the same kid and said, "This is our next signature athlete." Who do you think has better talent evaluation? A bunch of NFL GMs who let Tom Brady fall to the 6th round and passed on Patrick Mahomes multiple times? Or Nike, the company that turned Michael Jordan into the most valuable athlete brand in history? I'm going with Nike on this one. And here's another thing that's getting overlooked. Nike has been promoting Shedeur on social media throughout his rookie season. They've been designing player-exclusive cleats for him in Browns colorways. They've been investing in his image, his brand, his presence, even while he was sitting on the bench or dealing with coaching drama. That's loyalty. That's belief. That's putting your money where your mouth is. While Kevin Stefanski's regime was allegedly sabotaging Shedeur, while Cleveland media was questioning whether he should even be on the roster, Nike was designing signature shoes with legendary written on them. While NFL talking heads were debating his Pro Bowl selection, Gatorade was running campaigns featuring him. The disconnect is insane, and it exposes something really important about how we evaluate quarterbacks in this league. NFL teams get caught up in measurements, in pro days, in interviews, in all this stuff that doesn't always translate to success. But brands look at the whole picture. They look at charisma, marketability, cultural impact, social media presence, the ability to move product and generate buzz. And by every one of those metrics, Shedeur Sanders is already a superstar. Think about this. Coach Prime's sneakers sold out, like completely sold out. Deion Sanders, who hasn't played in the NFL in over 20 years, dropped a signature shoe and people went crazy for it. Now, imagine what happens when Shedeur's version hits the market. Imagine the demand when kids want a ball like Shedeur, when fans want to rep their quarterback, when sneakerheads want to add these to their collection.
Last night, the NFL sent Shedeur Sanders their version of Jake Paul, the YouTuber influencer that does all these fake boxing matches, gets into the ring with Mike Tyson, just got his butt kicked by Anthony Joshua, but got into the ring with Nate Robinson and built up this brand. And Jake Paul, out of nowhere, became this guy in the boxing world that could command $20, $30, $40 million for fake fights or for exhibition circus fights. The NFL just did that with the Pro Bowl. They keep branding it the Pro Bowl. They keep telling you it's the Pro Bowl.
Nike already knows That's why they invested early. That's why they're going all in. That's why they're not waiting to see if Shedeur becomes a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro or an MVP. They already see it. They already believe it. They're already marketing it. And you know what else is brilliant? The timing. These sneakers are dropping right as Shedeur is entering his second season, right as Todd Monken is taking over as head coach, right as the Browns are hopefully committed to building around him, right as all the pieces are falling into place for Shedeur to have a breakout year. Nike isn't just making shoes, they're creating a narrative. They're telling the world, this kid is special, this kid is different, this kid is legendary. And when Shedeur starts balling out next season, when he's leading game-winning drives and making Pro Bowls as a starter and proving all the doubters wrong, those sneakers are going to be everywhere. That's next-level marketing. That's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Let me also point out something that's been mentioned in the sneaker community. There are rumors, just rumors right now, that Shedeur might be going back to wearing number 2 instead of number 12. If that happens, it's probably because of branding, because his brand, his logo, his entire identity has been built around the number 2 since his Colorado days. And if that switch happens, it's more evidence that Shedeur is thinking about this stuff on a different level than most rookies. He's not just a football player. He's a brand. He's a business. He's building an empire. And Nike is right there with him, every step of the way. Here's what kills me about the NFL's evaluation of Shedeur versus the brand's evaluation. The NFL looked at him and saw risk. He's Deion's son, there's too much media attention, he's not worth a first-round pick, let's wait and see. Nike looked at him and saw opportunity. He's Deion's son, there's massive media attention, he's got millions of followers, let's lock him up now before he blows up even more. Same exact situation, completely opposite reactions. And you know what? I think Nike's going to be proven right. I think in 5 years, we're going to look back and laugh at the fact that Shedeur went in the 5th round. We're going to talk about it the same way we talk about Tom Brady being a 6th rounder as one of the biggest draft blunders in NFL history. But Nike will be laughing all the way to the bank because they saw it coming. They invested early. They believed when others didn't. And Shedeur, he's going to reward that faith, not just with his play on the field, but with his presence off it, with his ability to sell shoes, to move merchandise, to generate buzz, to be the face of a franchise and a brand at the same time. The sneakers are just the beginning. This is Nike planting a flag and saying, Shedeur Sanders is our guy. And when you're Nike, when you're the biggest sports brand in the world, that means something. That carries weight. That sends a message to the entire industry. The message is simple. Shedeur Sanders is special, and if you don't see it yet, you're not paying attention. So while NFL analysts are still debating whether he deserved the Pro Bowl, while Cleveland media is still pushing for Mac Jones or whoever else, Nike is out here designing signature shoes and building marketing campaigns and investing millions of dollars in Shedeur's future. Who do you trust more? The NFL establishment that's been wrong about quarterbacks over and over and over again, or Nike, the company that's built a multi-billion-dollar empire on their ability to identify and market superstars? I know where I'm putting my money. And when those sneakers drop, when they sell out in minutes, when people are lining up to get their hands on Shedeur Sanders player exclusives, all those doubters are going to have to sit there and admit that maybe, just maybe, they were wrong about this kid. But Shedeur won't care. He'll be too busy being legendary. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think Nike and these major brands see something in Shedeur that NFL teams missed? And when these sneakers drop, are you copping a pair? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments because I need to know if y'all are ready for the Shedeur Sanders era to fully take over. And if you made it this far, you already know the deal. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because when Shedeur proves everyone wrong next season, and he will, you're going to want to be here for every single moment. We're documenting the rise of a legend in real time. Let's get it. I'll see you in the next one.